Thank you. So it is 2020. It is an election year. There's a lot of talk about swing states lately, the importance of swing states. I don't really get that. Who cares if Wisconsin plays jazz music at their polling places? So I'm in a pretty good mood. I got a new place recently. I've had to buy some stuff for my apartment, and I've had to buy stuff from thrift stores a lot lately. And I like the idea behind thrift stores. A place where people can go to buy the things they need at affordable prices. And the things you buy from thrift stores are donated by people out of the goodness of their hearts. And people need things like coats and dinner plates and apparently a VHS copy of The Abyss. Speaking of movies, I don't know if any of you have heard, but this year they're releasing a biopic of Bruce Willis. What? I don't really know what it's going to cover, but I know that at the end it turns out he was Bruce Willis the entire time. So, I mentioned my new apartment. It's a studio. I'm by myself for the first time in my adult life. No roommates. It's awesome. I've had way too many roommates in my adult life. I even had a creepy roommate, which is hard to believe since I look like I used the internet to learn how to make bombs out of stuffed animals. But hear me out. First of all, this guy was a conspiracy theorist, so he would say really weird things to me like, Robert, don't use Gmail. You know why? Because it's not Google Mail. It's government mail. Or he would say, Robert, get off Facebook now, because Facebook is owned by the FBI. FBI? It's not a coincidence, Robert. I'm like, I think you just don't know how initials work, man. I mean, according to your logic, NASA is owned by Nicolas Cage. And Chipotle is owned by the CIA. And Kanye West owns KFC. So anyway, do you actually believe that conspiracy theory? It is a conspiracy theory.
You would explain why I don't like the original.
So anyway, when I was a kid, my dad was an entomologist. For those of you who don't know, that means he studied insects. So go through this with me. As a kid, I saw my father earn his living by going into the woods with a giant net, capturing bugs, and then taking them back to a lab and sticking pins in their backs. So now you know why I'm a comedian. It's because seeing that, I was like, well, I guess I can be anything I want when I grow up. It's cool being a comedian, though. Being a comedian, it means I carry a notebook around, but I flip out at anyone who asks if it's my diary. I hate that. No, it's not my diary. Am I the only comedian who feels that way? Come on. Anyway. I have to admit that comedy hasn't exactly turned out the way I had hoped it would when I was, an adolescent aspiring to be a comedian. I thought I would travel a lot more for it and travel to places like New York and LA and Chicago. But now that I'm an adult and I've been doing comedy for a few years, I have traveled for it, but it's to places like Newark, Delaware, and Kenosha, Wisconsin, and Berwyn, Illinois. I'll tell you, I think another reason that I'm a comedian is that growing up, let me start it like this. When I was a kid, I had a near-death experience. When I was 12, I was in a near-fatal car crash. Wasn't near-fatal for the driver, though. He died. I gotta tell you, I think the worst part of that whole experience for me had to be going back to school, because other kids thought they could just ask me anything about it. They would say, hey, Robert, what was it like being in a coma? As if it were an exotic vacation. What was it like? I don't know, you moron, I was unconscious. That's what makes it a coma. But I think the most obnoxious question I got was from this one girl who said to me, hey, Robert, when you were in a coma, did you lose weight? Yeah? oh my God, I wish I could go into a coma. I wish you could too. All right, guys, that's it for me. Get back to Darren.
Rubber roll, everybody.